In this video, we're still going to focus on factorizing quadratic trinomials, and we are going to look at mixed examples of Group A and Group B. You will find this on page 107 in the Namibian Ordinary Level Mathematics textbook, y equals mx plus c to 6's. Now, you can look at the previous videos and then you can stop and you can do number 2, and then I'm just mix A, B, C, and then we are going to look at just 4. I think 4 is enough. Okay, so this is positive, negative, negative, positive. Okay, if you can still remember the methods, you can just stop the video, try number 2, A, B, C, and D, and then continue the video. Okay, but let's start. Number 2A. Now, if I write it down and I say 20 y squared plus 23 y plus 6. Always start by saying this is in group A. So I'm going to add the factor pairs, and the signs will be the same. So I say 20 and 6. So let's write the factor pairs of 20. So it's 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5, 5 and 4, 10 and 2, 20 and 1. And then 6, it's 1 and 6, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, 6 and 1. Then I take 1 on this side and 1 on this side. And I remember to add. So this is going to be 6 plus 20, that's 26, not going to work. Go to the second one, go to this one. So this is going to be 40 plus 3, no, go to this one. This one is going to be 60 plus 2, no, go to this one. Oh, no, it becomes too big. Then move to the second one. Start with the first one again. So if I look at this one, it's going to be 12 and it's going to be 10. No. Go to the second one. This is going to be 20 and 6. No. This is going to be 30 and 4. No. This is going to be 60, too big. Move to the next one. Okay, this is going to be, so this is 5, and this one, 4 times 6, it's going to be 24. It's too big. And this one is going to be 10, maybe this one, 10, and this one 12 now. Let's see, this one, 15, oh, maybe this one, plus 8. So let's just mark. Okay, let's test it. Let's take it out. So this is going to be 4 and 5 and 3 and 2. Let's see if this one works. So this one is going to be 15 plus that 8. And that's going to give you that 23. Okay. Okay, so just start with the first one, try everyone. Second one, try everyone. Next one, try everyone, and you will get it. Okay, the signs are the same, and both take the sign of the middle term. And what will this be? Plus, plus. And then this is y squared y, so this will be y, y. And then I'm just going to write down my 2 brackets. There's my 1. So it's going to be 4y plus 3. And it's going to be 5y plus 2. Okay. And then I'm going to start with the next one. Let's look at number B. Okay, so this is going to be 3a squared plus a minus 2. I'll again start. This is in group B. So I will subtract, and the signs is going to be different. Okay. So if I start here, I'm just going to write the factor pairs. This is 1 and 3, and 3 and 1. This is 1 and 2, and 2 and 1. So if I start with the first one, this is going to be 3. Remember, it subtracts, so it's 3 minus 2. I think it's going to work. Let's take it out. Because this is going to be 3, and this is going to be subtract. Remember, it's subtract, and that will be 1, and there's a 1. And then the signs will be different, and the biggest over cross product, what will be the biggest over cross product? It will be this one. The biggest over cross product will get this sign in front of the second column. And the signs are different. So if this is positive, this is negative. Then it's a squared a, so this will be a, and this will be a. And I will end up with my two brackets, which is a plus 1, and which is 3a minus 2. And that will be my final answers. Okay. Okay, and then this was number B. Let's just make space. So it was one of group A, one of group B. And it's very important. You must not just try 3 or 4. Do as many as possible. That rules must be really fixed in your mind. Okay, let's start with the next one. Number 2C. So this will be 28 B squared minus 27 B minus 10. Okay, so in this case, this is again, okay, I'm going to make it in red. This is B, and I'm going to subtract, and I remember the signs will be different. Okay, that's what it's saying to me. So factor pairs. So it's 1 and 28, and it's 2 and 14. Okay, and it's not 3, that is 4 and 7, 7 and 4, 14 and 2, 28 and 1. And 10, it's 1 and 10, 2 and 5, 5 and 2, 10 and 1. So basically, 1 on this side, 1 on this side. Okay, so if sometimes it's better to encircle it. Okay, so if I'm going to look, I must subtract. So this is going to be 28, 10. No, it's not going to work. This is going to be, no, it's not going to work. If I look at this, too big. No, it's not. I don't have a good feeling for that one. Okay, let's look at this one. This one is going to be 14 and 20. No, it must come to 27. It's quite big. Okay, if I look at this one, it's going to be 28 minus 10. No, it's also not. This one is going to be too big again. This one also too big. So let's rather go to this one. Okay, this one is going to be 40 minus 7. No, too big. This one is going to be 20 minus 2 times 14. No, it's also not going to work. Let's try this one. Okay, it's just that it's not collapsing with that one. Okay, let's try this one. So it's 4 and 7, so let's see, 7 times 5, this is going to be 35, and 4 times 2, I think we strike gold. So it's going to be 4 and 7, 5 and 2. So let's look. 7 times 5 is 35, 4 times 2 is 8. And if I'm going to say 35 minus 8, that is going to give me that 27. Do you see? And then the signs will be different. So if the signs are different, I must make the biggest cross product is this one, and the sign will be the sign of the middle. And what is the sign? Negative. If this is negative, this will be positive. And if this is b squared b, then this will be b. And then it will be 4b minus 5, 7b plus 2. And that will be my final answer. Okay, that's number 2C. Let's just go to number 2. Let's just work on top. Okay, I'm going to just do number 2D. So in this one, it's 35 f squared minus 31 f plus 6. Again, start looking at this sign in front of the constant. So this will be in group A, so I remember to add the cross product, and then the signs are the same. So in this case, it's going to be, it's 35. Okay, so let's write it here. So it's 1 and 35, 2 not, 3 not, 4 not, 5 and 7, 7, 7 and 5, 35 and 1. And 6 is easy. 1 and 6, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, 6 and 1. I have to write the reverse options because there's more than one on this side. Okay, now let's start. And remember, I add. So I can already see 35 will be too big. So I cannot eliminate that one. Start here. This is a better one. So in this case, 5 times 6 is 30. It's also too big. Go to this one. 7 times 2 is 14 and 15. I don't think this is going to work because it's 29. Let's look at this one. 7 times 3, that's 21. I think we strike gold because it's 5 and 7. Let's get that 7 correct. And 3 and 2. So this is 21 plus, remember it's group A, plus 10. And that will be 31. So it's 21 plus 10, which will be 31. The signs will be the same, and both will take the sign of the middle term. And that's negative, negative, not always positive. Look at this middle term. And then this will be F, and then this will be F. And it will be 5F minus 3. And this will be 7F minus 2. Okay, and that will be my final answer. It's very important that you actually do this whole exercise before you continue to make sure that you know the difference between group A and group B, and it's really not so difficult, but it's also something that we will use a lot in grade 12 mathematics. Okay, let's look at Factorise more complex quadratic trinomials. Okay, now if I look, let's just go through this exercise first. This, do you see the problem there? There's a 4 and there's a 2, but you can still see that this 4 is twice this 2, so it's still a trinomial. Okay, so I do exactly, this is in group what? This is in group B, so I still write 1 and 1, 6 and 1, so 6 minus 1 give me that 5. So the signs will still be different. The biggest overcross get that negative, But now, instead of writing x4, it's almost like you can put a k, but you can do it directly. In the place of this k is x2. It's actually always that one that you write there. So it's x2, x2, and that's why we come to that. So actually in the place, it was x2, x2, and that's why we did that. If you look at this one, now always remember, you must always, before you do trinomials, difference between two squares, grouping, you must always see if you can take out a highest common factor. And that's exactly what I did. I took out the highest common factor, then I look inside the bracket. Oh, it's a trinomial, it's in group A. And then I start doing it and I move on. If you look at this one, now this one is p squared, and then p, and then this one is q squared. So in this case, it's almost like it's p squared p, q squared q. How do I do it? Exactly the same. It's still in group B because there's a negative. So if you look, this is going to be 12 minus 5, which is going to give me that 7. The signs is still going to be different, and the biggest over cross product will get the middle sign, which is a negative positive. The only difference comes there. If you look here, it was p squared p, so there will be p. And then it was q squared q, so that's why the q's is at the back and the p's are in front. And then I put my 2. And you can test it again by multiplying out. And then the last one, there's more than one way. I think because you must have a positive there, first take the negative out as a common factor, highest common factor. And then just focus on the brackets. Do your things. You can leave it like this, or you can even multiply it into the first bracket, not two brackets. So it will be actually the same. Or you can multiply it in the first bracket, this is, or in the second bracket, but not in both. Okay, I want you to stop the video and I want you to try now 23, and I want you to do A, because it's almost like A. And then this is very important. I love asking this one in this format. There's your common factor. This is just going to be AX, and I think just do that 3. You can move this around, or you can just factorize it by putting the X at the back, so it doesn't matter. So I think let's end up with number F. Stop the video, and as soon as you are finished, you can continue the video. Okay, always, this is a trinomial because it's almost like this one is multiplied by 2 with this one. So 2 multiplied 2, it's 4. So if I do this, and this is still in, let's take red, this is in group B, so I'm going to subtract and the signs are going to be different. So let's just start. This is going to be 1 and 3, 3 and 1. This is going to be 1 and 35, 5 and 7, 7 and 5, 35 and 1. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to take 1 on this side and I'm going to test. Remember, it's difference. So, and I must get 16. So, 35 minus 3, no. See this one. This one is 7 and 15, no. Let's see this one. Maybe this one, because this is 21 and minus 5. I think this one is going to work. So, it's going to be 1 and 3. 7 and 5, because that's going to be 21 minus that 5 is going to give me that 16. Okay, so the signs are still different. What are the signs? Biggest over cross, get that sign. And what is that sign? Positive. And if this is positive, this is negative. And now it's A4, A2, and you always take that. So it's just A2, A2. And then you can just write it down. And then it's going to be A2 plus 7, 3A2 minus 5. And that's going to be your final answer. Okay, if I look at number B, I can try still to do B here. So this is going to be 3x squared plus 7xy plus 2y squared. So in this case, it's in group A. So this is going to be 1 and 3, 3 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 1. And I'm going to take 1 on this side, 1 on this side. And this is going to be 3 plus 2, that's 5. I think this one is going to work. This is 6 plus 1, it's that 7. So let's just take it out. It was 1 and 3 and 2 and 1, because that's going to give me 6 plus, remember it's group A, that's you add, plus 1, and that will give me that 7. And then the signs will be the same, and both will get this sign. So it's positive, positive. And now I'm just going to say, this is x squared x, so the x will be in front. And this is y squared y, so the y's will be at the back. And then I will have x plus 2y, 3x plus y. Okay, so x plus 2y, 3x plus y, that will be my final answer. Okay, let's do number C and F, which is create space. So the basic rule stays the same for group A and B. It's just 1 or 2 things extra. So if you look at number C, now always remember, if you can take out a common factor and they tell you to factorize, always start by taking C. Can I take out a common factor? And then you do that first. So in this case, it's going to be P. So it's going to be P squared plus 4P plus 4. And this is still going to be in group A. And this is going to be 1 and 1. This is 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. Because there's not only 1 on this side, I don't have to do the reverse. So test, test. Remember group A, so it's 4 plus 1, too big, but this one is going to work. And let's take it out. It's going to be 1 and 1, 2 and 2. Because 2 plus 2 is 4. And then the signs are the same, and both take the middle sign, plus, plus, P, P. And don't forget, this is your common factor. You have to write it in front, and then you can make your 2 brackets. You can either say it's P plus 2, but because the brackets are the same, you can also call it P plus 2 squared. Okay, and that's your final answer. Okay, let's do the last one, and I'm just going to create space. Okay, this is number 23, and this is number F. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to write, it's almost like it's just reversed, but I can leave it like this because I'm going to show you it's 28 minus 12, okay, minus 12x minus x squared, okay. So in this case, it's if I almost read it like this, okay, you can still see it's in group B. So the signs, I will still subtract. So in this case, I'm just going to do it a little bit different. But what you can do is I will show you both methods. Both methods will work. Okay, but let's start with this method. So in this case, it's 28 and it's 1. So it's going to be 28, so it's 1 times 28 2 times 14, 14 times 2, 28 times 1. And this is just 1 and 1. Okay, so actually the reverse was not important. So I 1 on this side, 1, and it's subtract. So 28 minus no. But if you look at this one, this is 14 minus 2. So let's just keep it. 2 and 14, 1 and 1. So 14 minus 2, that will give me that 12. Okay, and then the signs, what will the signs be? The signs will be different. And in this case, so I'm writing it, the signs will be different. The biggest over cross product, okay, the biggest over cross, I did it a little bit differently. Okay, the biggest over cross product will get, in this case, okay, it's different. So what is the middle sign? Negative. And then this one will get a positive. And then because it's x squared x, then this one is going to be, so it's going to be x plus 14, x minus 2. So in this case, it's going to be, okay, let's just see. I think in this video, I will come back to this method, because this is the method which I usually not follow. I follow this method. I'll come back to this one. I'm first going to do it on my method. My method is to first rearrange it like this. And then we'll see if we can fix that method. So if I rearrange it like this, then I'm going to take out negative as a common factor. Then I'm going to do the same, exactly like I did here. So I'm going to, but now this is 1. So it's 1 and 1 and 2 and 14. But this is still in group B. This is still in group B. So I'm going to say 14 minus 2 is that 12. And then I'm going to take the biggest over cross product, which is in this case this one, okay? And that is going to get that sign, a positive. And then this one is going to get the opposite sign, a negative. And then it's x squared x, so it's going to be x, and it's going to be x. And then my final answer is going to be x minus 2, x plus 14. Okay, so that is going to, so x plus 14, x minus 2. That is how I will do it. So let's see if we can fix this one, or we're going to cross this method, because I prefer this method. It's always working. So if I see if I can fix this one, then I'm going to, there was the 2, because if I multiply, and I will get 2 minus x. So I think if we just put an x there, we have our signs, and we're just going to have there 2x minus 1 and 14 plus x. 14x plus 1. 14x plus, I'm going to scratch this method. I prefer that you just do this method. Okay, you can try to figure it out, but I prefer rearrange it, take negative out as a common factor, do it like this, or if you want, you can multiply this in by saying it's x plus, but then it will be negative x plus 2, x plus 14. Or the other way around, and you can test it by multiplying out the brackets.